and then try to make those styles that way. But if you can have only one teaching method, only one way you're going to teach, it's not going to work for everybody. It doesn't matter if it's the best way. If there's nobody learning, the teaching is useless. And if you're teaching and teaching, and the student's mind just wanders off, he can be watching, he can be nodding his head, he can do everything to make it look like he's learning. He can even try to write something down. But if his mind is not focused on it, and you can't just say, no, focus. It doesn't focus. It actually distracts. The more you try to force somebody to focus, the more it is for distraction. So you have to do something what gets their attention. It doesn't have to be bad or violent. That's ridiculous. I know that's too many want to go that way, and that's not the right way to do it. You can do it in a way that the student can be creative. So instead of consumption doesn't get anything done. You could put all the knowledge on chalkboard in their book. You can give the person the best book, everything. And if the person's not interested or finds it too boring or something, doesn't read it, won't learn from it. So you need to get them part of it. So the very best book you can give somebody is the book they're writing. Not the teacher's writing. The student is writing it. That's the best book. Because that's the book that the student is learning, the one who's writing it. You can try to help them in different ways. The best way is when the student has a question and you try to assist them. You can answer it. You can have him answer it. Ask back some other questions that it can come out in the way that the student was able to answer his own question. If it's a question that the student just can't do or can't come up with the answer, you can give them the answer. There's no such thing as copying, cheating. Go for it. Do it. Here's the answer. Here, this is what I wrote down. How about you write it too? And then, now tell me, you like it, you don't like it, what's good about it, what's bad about it. And then get the student to give you feedback. And if you really want a good teacher, have the students hire and fire teachers. And that's how you'd get a good teacher. So now your degree, your resume, everything, you can't go to one person and have them decide, oh yeah. Where did you work? Oh, that's, yeah. No, you have no name. That's like, when a student sees all that, some might find it to be something. Many will find it to be useless. I don't care what degree you have. I don't care where you worked before. What I care is what is going to happen now. What are you going to make me do? Or what am I going to have to watch or listen? Because it's all about the student themselves. It's not about the teacher. It's not about his past or what he learned or even what he's teaching. It's more about the student learning. And everybody forgets that. It's like everybody figures it's all about teaching. And it's not. It's not anything. It has nothing to do with teaching. It's all about learning. Everything. All of it. And I have found it with myself now that I want to learn, I am trying to find what to learn, what I want to learn, what I'm interested in. And then I find different ways, what's out there, and I choose which one I want to learn, from who I want to learn. Things like that. And that's what, well, let me make a prediction right now. I say schools will change a lot. If it's not going to be all online, there'll be another way. But I know in the past even there's some schools that have websites and you can do online learning. That's very small. It's going to get a lot more and more advanced than that too. That's even the past now. Those who don't think online learning or things like that is a thing and they're against it, they'll stay behind. Because that's where the world's going. And I do believe all these platforms, like all the social media, it's great that everybody can share. Maybe they should watch this video, because let me tell you, they make it into learning. They've already been so clever to find a way to get people to stay on social media longer than they intended. So at first it seems like, okay, social media was, oh, you check what your friends or whatever. Then you end up friending people what you've never met before or even heard of. And maybe you watched a little bit of their content or something. Now you friended them. And you end up watching those yet too. The next thing you know, it's recommended for you. Almost every social media platform has something recommended for you. And you go through that. And the next thing you know, those 10 minutes or whatever ends up being hours. Some people end up almost a whole day on one of those things. Or back and forth, right? From social media to social media. Different platforms. They've been so clever to do that. And they're onto something. That's how you do it for learning. So why don't they do it that they can teach things that way? It's great that they have opened it up that anyone can try to teach each other by video or different ways. And like YouTube has become pretty popular and then everybody shares. But there's also many people that fake things. They try to make it look like it. Oh yeah, you do this and this, a magnet and a wire, and then look, the light lights up. But then they end up with a battery or something that the light did. They fake it. And then you end up not knowing, okay, what's real, what's not. Do I have to try it all and find out which one's working or doesn't work? And things like that. Because people are just trying to get more views, I guess, or whatever, I don't know. When it comes to social media platforms, and Facebook has done very well, TikTok does really well, YouTube does very well, and there's many others that do that now too, and then they pretty much I guess all of them have it. Even Twitter has it now too. AI, trying to find out what you watch, what's your personality, what interests you, what you're interested in, and things like that. And this is all things what actually a teacher should be doing. So these platforms figure all that out and they put that in front of you. What you're interested in, or they try to anyway. So they've successfully found a way to get you to stay on the platform longer and be more engaged. That's learning right there. To get someone to stay on longer, to be more engaged and more focused in, is the perfect time for learning. Exactly that. So whatever it is that gets their attention, put the learning in there. And I don't know. I mean, like, there's so many what would be able to do it, and I'm surprised they haven't yet. Maybe it's something I'm going to have to do. It'll be a new thing. And it'll be more successful. And it'll change everything. The teaching and learning process will change completely. Once it's understood, once it's developed, refined, that will be the only way for learning. And if you want to teach, you'd have to teach in that kind of style. It's great to be in person. I think everybody loves to be in person. The thing is, when you have somebody in person and they tell you all these facts, all their knowledge or whatever, and the only thing you can do is sit there and watch them. And that's why a lot of these talks, what they have on stage and stuff, they try to get the audience to do things. If it's standing, clapping, or anything, responding, try to get the interaction from the audience so that they don't start wandering off with their minds. You can be right. You can tell them about a lot of wisdom. You can tell them exactly the solution to their problems, and they won't even pay attention. Takes long enough, they'll end up being on social media while they talk. They'll be on there and scrolling and doing different things, and their focus isn't even on what you're talking about, or even on you, what was doing the talk. And that's not only the problem there, but in schools and many other places, it's like that.